first thoughts on taking the job?
Well, first of all, I'm delighted to have been offered the opportunity. It's a pleasure and it's a privilege to be able to lead this team, and it's something that I feel connected to the club over the last 3.5 years of being here in Phoenix, and I'm really looking forward to the challenge. Like I say, it's a big honour and one that I don't take lightly, and I'm very much looking forward to the project and to the challenge ahead.
How did you get the news that you were being offered the role?
It was a conversation with Bobby and with Brandon McCarthy. This was about a week or so ago now. So we'd started pre-season training already at that time, and obviously I've been speaking regularly with Bobby and with Brandon and with the club in general. But it was obviously great news for me to be confirmed and given that news, and it was an exciting moment for me for sure.
It was a bit of a shock that Juan Guerra left for Houston. Did you have a conversation with him before he left, and did he provide any advice with the team? And obviously once you were named.
Yeah, I mean, so Juan and I obviously go back a long way. We've worked together here in Phoenix for going back 3 years now. Juan is a good friend of mine and a fantastic colleague, obviously, as well over the last 3 years. I've spoken with Juan regularly. I was very informed on his situation and his process. Both Juan and the club were good enough to keep me informed as they needed to on that. First of all, I would say that I wish Juan nothing but the very best of success. Juan's been an excellent coach and an excellent person for this organisation, and he departs obviously for Houston with nothing but our best wishes. So my thoughts are no different from that, and I have stayed in touch with Juan since he's arrived in Houston, and I know he's very much looking forward to that task as well. But we send him nothing but the best.
Danny, how hard is it to repeat, I guess, and where do you start in terms of, I know today was the first day on the field, but just where do things begin as you try to repeat?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's something that I've already spoken with the players about. We have a challenge ahead of us this year that is the first time that this club have faced this situation, and the way I look at it is it's an exciting challenge ahead. It's something that is, for me, extra motivation, and for the players, extra motivation, where we know as reigning champions of the league this year that every opponent that we face is playing that team, is playing the team who were the champions of last year, and we know the edge that will bring to games, and we know how that will be for us. So it's a challenge, it's a task, it's certainly something, like I say, we're all looking forward to approaching that situation, and we see it as a huge motivation for us. So for me, I'm looking forward to that task, and I know the players are as well.
What kind of a reaction have you seen from the boys then since the news became official that you were taking charge?
It's been great, and the players have been fantastic in being patient with the process as well. Since the official confirmation was announced to them, I believe they were pleased with it. I believe they were happy. They certainly have shown me a tremendous amount of support so far, and I thank them for that. And like I say, I look forward to working with them. We have several players, of course, in the squad that I know very well from this last season. So I look forward to working with them again and to welcoming in new players into the squad to add and to improve the already very strong group that we have here.
What do you think then is the biggest holes that you've still got in the group ahead of the season?
To be honest, I don't see that we have holes in the group. I'm very pleased with the squad that we've assembled. We've like I say, we have 14 returning players, I believe, this year, and we've made some excellent additions, I think, to the squad as a whole. So I certainly don't see that we have gaps. I certainly don't see that we have holes in that squad. What I do think is, obviously, as always, there's a process of new players coming in and joining existing squad members and learning about the organisation, learning to become familiar with the club. So that always takes some time. That always is a process where players coming in have to adapt. And culturally, the players that are already in the organisation will be able to lead them and guide them on that. So I do think we have a very good blend of existing players who have been with us and know what it means to play for Phoenix Rising, and players coming in have some very good role models to take the lead from.
Danny, what do you remember about your time here when you were much younger, and maybe not much younger, but younger, and what that kind of just full circle moment, I guess, for you to be a coach now, and then having all that time back in the late 90s?
Yeah. So my history with Phoenix as a city does go back a long way. It goes back more than 25 years now, I believe. As a 15-year-old, my family moved out to Tempe, and I spent about 18 months or so in high school here at Corona del Sol High School. So it's funny sometimes how life takes you in those circles, and I actually now am back living in an area that's about 5 minutes from where I went to school there. So it's like I say, it is funny how life does that to you. I have many good friends still that live in the Phoenix area that I met when I came to high school here, and it's a nice addition, I think, for me from as well as the professional side of working with the organisation, but to be in a city where I do have further connection to and a history and a background that takes me a lot further back than my professional working time with Phoenix Rising.
So when you first were approached to come back here, I mean, was that kind of a big motivational thing for you, knowing that you'd been here before? To come back and join the staff. Yeah,
it was, and listen, I go back, quite a long way with existing professionals that work in the organisation, right the way through the Phoenix Rising Youth Club, with Chris Brown and with Andy Chapman, who do a fantastic job with our youth organisation and our academy teams. And so I did have a history with those people as well, and they were a big factor in my initial return to the club. And this was at a time where, I'd been in Oklahoma City for 2.5 years prior to that, and the opportunity came up, and it was an exciting task for me to come back to a great club and to a city that I already knew well, and had friends and had people that I'd previously worked with that I was really looking forward to coming back and working with those same people again.
Danny, can you talk about Darnell King joining the squad as an assistant coach this year after being a player in the champion last year?
Yeah. So Darnell obviously is an extremely important person in this club and has been over several years now. I can pay Darnell no higher accolade than the way he finished his professional playing career. It couldn't have been a more perfect situation and a more perfect ending to that story. And so, first and foremost, I was so pleased and so delighted for him that he was able to raise that trophy as club captain, and it was such a fitting end, I think, to a playing career that when you talk about model professionals and you talk about leaders in an organisation, Darnell is exactly that. He's a great example of that. And those same attributes are the same reasons why we're so happy that he's now part of our coaching staff. He's a big addition to the coaching staff from a connective point of view with the players and with the locker room. And again, many players that are returning with us this year obviously have existing relationship with Darnell in his previous role as club captain. So we remain, close to that locker room through Darnell, and we will support him absolutely as he now undertakes a coaching journey and a change in that career path. And I have no doubt that he has all the skill sets and all the attributes as a person, more than anything, to be a huge success for us.
Any thoughts of adding another assistant coach, maybe a Spanish-speaking one, with given the amount of Latino players that you guys have in the squad? Yeah,
it's a process that we're working through right now. We will be bringing in an additional staff member. That's something we've been working hard on here over the last week or so, and we continue to work through that process. But it's certainly something that we are, of course, aware of, that we need another addition to that role. And we're taking the right time and doing the right diligence with that process to make sure that the person who comes in is a great member of that coaching staff, and obviously will do an excellent job for the team and for the club.